Along the Texas Gulf Coast, utter devastation. Harvey barreled ashore overnight. Electricity knocked out for at least 300,000.
Desperation in Louisiana. Entire communities cut off. Power down.
My parents came to the United States from Mexico back in 1997. They were constantly moving when I was a kid because they had to go wherever the work was. We moved to Florida, and my dad was doing construction. My mother was due any day, and because of their lack of legal status, my father came home with the news that he would not be able to work at his current job. And with my mother being out of work at that time because of her pregnancy, it would have been impossible for us to stay there. And so they packed everything up and we moved to Alabama right after the big tornado hit Tuscaloosa.
We've got a long road. This will not be an easy process because the destruction is widespread.
It's the recovery periods in the days and weeks after a tornado, after a hurricane, that take the greatest toll on communities.
And a lot of folks who were undocumented were the ones rebuilding. It was kind of a slap to the face of the immigrant community to be rebuilding and simultaneously have the state decide that they weren't valuable here and that they would be persecuted for their status. There were so many workers not being paid what they're owed. A lot of what happens is that folks don't know that they have rights. And so contractors and subcontractors are responsible for paying. However, a lot of folks in this country are mistakenly in the belief that if you're undocumented, you don't deserve those wages and that there's nothing you can do, that you have no recourse. The Resilience Force works to organize folks who travel from natural disaster to help rebuild. That's, I think, the most important part of the project is to unite different workers and to help them know that together they are able to recover what they are owed. In Alabama, my parents went into business with some folks who ended up just not being very honest with them about the wages they would be earning and the amount of hours they'd be working without breaks. Eventually, my parents had enough and they decided to leave. After that happened, my parents' former partners called the police that very night and told them these folks are undocumented, like, do something about it. And after that day, the cops were waiting at the turn where my parents left their house. And it got to the point where my parents started taking a whole different route. My Equal Justice Works Fellowship is important to me because I have first-hand experience of what it's like to watch someone in your family work long, hard hours and not see a penny, not have the protections they need. I'm helping folks have the tools to fight for what they deserve. This work is an opportunity to help people know that they are human and they deserve equal payment and they deserve the same safety measures that anybody else in this country deserves, and that their voices have power and deserve to be heard. I'm honoring the pain that my parents have experienced so that I can help build a better country for all of us. I want to see a more just country that treats immigrants fairly. I think all the undocumented workers who are rebuilding communities following disasters deserve fair treatment from their employers, and I want to be a part of that future.